Hey guys, I'm Jackie. I'm a little bit stuffy today, but I'm gonna move forward with this video, and I want to talk about this idea that I think a lot of us share, that we've all experienced at least one time in our life. This idea that we are not good enough. And I know for me, this idea, this thought that I'm not good enough has led to avoidable failures. It's led to low self-esteem and just general unhappiness. So today I want to share what my steps are currently to help get out of this destructive thought pattern. So I think I've experienced, sorry, I'm reading off of some of the notes I took for this, but I think I've experienced this thought process that I'm not good enough since my early teen years. And I'm sure I had instances before that, but that's where it really started. That's when people would voice their opinions about me that were different than what I believed of myself. And that's when I started comparing myself to others. So this thought that I am not good enough became a habitual pattern for me. And I'm currently working on trying to break that habit and create new pathways in my brain. And thanks to neuroplasticity, or the fact that our brains are ever evolving, we have the power to change our old thought patterns and create new pathways. You may have heard this metaphor before, but I really like when people compare our thoughts to roads. So the more energy and time that you give a thought, the bigger and the more stable a road becomes. So say a thought is like a country dirt road, or even start before that, it's just a pathway in the grass. So in my early teen years, this thought, I am not enough, it started as just like a path in the grass. And throughout the years of me feeding that thought and believing that thought, it eventually became like a concrete superhighway that I was always taking. But how do we create new pathways in the brain? One, we have to know that we are even having a habitual thought. For many years, I didn't even know that this thought, I am not enough, was a thought. I thought it was just the truth. And it wasn't really until I started working on myself that I even understood that it was a problem. So two, once you identify that thought, we can ask, how did that thought come about? So my thought, I'm not enough, came from a number of things. Mostly listening to and believing other people's judgments or observations about myself. And also this just constant comparison to other people that just seemed in my mind better than me. So step three, what is this thought doing for me? Has it stopped me from achieving less than I'm capable of? Has it created unpleasantness in my life? And how does this thought make me feel about the situation? I've noticed that my performance significantly declines when I'm harder on myself and I don't think I'm good enough and I don't believe that I can succeed. So step 4 is practicing catching the thought every time it comes up. I've even tried to start noticing the frequency of this thought, or if there are certain situations that increase the likelihood that I will have this thought. And I've noticed that I usually experience this soundtrack of I am not enough, or you are not enough, when I'm trying something new and I don't really know much about something, or if I see that other people have more experience than I do. So I really try to watch out for this thought when I am trying new things. So step 5, every time you catch the thought, which might be 1,000 times a day, maybe more, you have the chance, the choice to argue against it. So when I hear that voice, I am not enough, you are not enough, I mentally respond, no, I am enough. And that might take me looking back on what I've accomplished in life or how far I've come, and really being proud of the small victories that normally just go under the radar. And I'm not saying it's not good to have goals. Like, it's great to have goals and want to grow, but we also have to accept that our best is enough. Our best in that moment, this moment right here, is enough. So these thoughts that contribute to this idea, this belief that I am not enough, will probably always come up for me. But I can continue changing or working on my relationship to them and understand that these thoughts are not true. So step 6, after arguing against this false thought, be proud. Maybe say to yourself, I am free from an old thought pattern. True happiness, real self-worth, comes from within. It's so easy to base your self-esteem on what other people think of you, whether that's good or bad. But if you always do that, if you always base your happiness or your self-esteem on what other people say, you know, there's always going to be people that are going to support you and love you and lift you up. But there's also always going to be people that want to bring you down. And it's usually not personal. It's usually their own deal. But because of that instability, sorry, my sinuses are making me tear up. But if you base all of your self-worth on outside sources, you will never be enough. Believe me, this is a major struggle that I have been working on for years now, and it's still really difficult. But it's so much better, so much easier now than it used to be. And with enough practice, I know that one day I will fully believe I am enough, more often than not. It just takes practice, time with myself, whether that's journaling, meditation, yoga, or anything that just makes me be really present and not distracted. So it's important that I turn the TV off, get away from distractions, and give myself space to mentally observe what highways I've built in my head. What habitual thoughts have I created for myself? And are they harming me or are they benefiting me? And it's really easy in my mind to get frustrated with myself when I catch myself being down on myself or beating myself up. I get frustrated. But the great thing is that every single moment is a new opportunity to start fresh. So when you get down on yourself, notice that. Take a breath, and that next breath is an opportunity to start fresh again. So get out of your own way, and don't take my word for it when I tell you you are enough, because you are. Believe it yourself. It is never too late to start a new road, a new path of self-compassion. So these are the 6 steps that I take myself to work on remembering that I am enough. And I hope that this might help you. And even if it didn't, I want you to know that whoever you are that's watching this, you are enough. Your best is enough. You matter. And you have the power to make a difference in this world. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I'm always happy to hear your feedback, whether that's comments, questions, concerns. whatever it is, I'd love to hear from you no matter what. So thank you and namaste.